Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're talking about the digital architect, engineering in the AI era. Now, if you're a software engineer right now, or even studying to become one, you've probably felt that creeping existential dread lately. The ground is literally shifting under our feet. So we're going to jump right into the anxiety that's currently gripping the software development world, and more importantly, we'll show you exactly how to adapt and thrive in it.
So the big question, is software engineering a dying profession? It's a pressing thought, right? It's got junior developers sweating their very first job hunt, and honestly, even seasoned engineers are feeling anxious about their career prospects. People are genuinely wondering if the golden age of coding is just over. And frankly, looking at the recent technological landscape, it's a completely valid fear to have right now.
Because the panic really stems from this exact dynamic. AI tools like GitHub Copilot, Cursor, and Claude are stepping up and doing something totally unprecedented. They've compressed what used to take a junior developer days into mere minutes. Think about that. They can write functional code, scaffold entire applications from plain English, and even generate tests. It's completely upending the traditional on-ramp into the tech industry.
Section 1. The AI threat to coders. To really figure out our path forward, we have to start by acknowledging the very real economic realities happening in the industry today.
And it all comes down to the brutal math. One developer can now do what 3 used to do. Companies are reporting that AI tools are doubling or even tripling developer productivity. The headcount math is just harsh. This perfectly explains why startups are building massive products with absolute skeleton crews, sometimes just 2 or 3 engineers, and why large enterprises are quietly freezing their engineering hires.
Which brings us to a pretty terrifying historical parallel. Some argue software development is going to follow the exact same historical curve as farming. Think about agriculture mechanization. It permanently eliminated 90% of agricultural workers. The fear today is that AI coding tools, which are exponentially improving, are going to permanently wipe out repetitive coding jobs, just like tractors wiped out manual plowing. And that leads to a severe entry-level pipeline crisis. Startups are building with skeleton teams, and large enterprises are freezing engineering hires. The absolute most immediate threat is to junior developers who traditionally handled those repetitive, well-defined coding tasks that AI can now do better, faster, and entirely for free. If juniors can't get hired for repetitive tasks, there is a severe risk of the future senior pipeline drying up completely.
Section 2. Why true engineering will survive. Okay, before you throw your keyboard out the window and declare the end of the profession, let's pivot. Let's look at the counter-argument and see how this actually builds into an incredibly hopeful reality.
Let's look at history again, but from a slightly different angle. Almost every technological revolution that was supposed to destroy jobs actually just shifted them. Take ATMs, for example. They lowered the cost of running a branch, so banks opened way more branches, and bank teller jobs actually increased. Or spreadsheets. They didn't kill accounting. They made it accessible, triggering a massive demand increase for accountants.
So when we contrast the present with the future, a really interesting dynamic emerges. Yes, the current entry-level challenges are real. Headcount is absolutely shrinking for passive ticket takers. But the long-term opportunities are massive. AI lowers the barrier to entry and the cost of building software, and that means more businesses will launch more projects, massively expanding the total addressable market for developers. We are nowhere near having enough software in the world. But this means we need to redefine what we actually do. True engineering is about translating messy human requirements into precise systems, orchestrating AI, and taking full accountability. Because, let's be honest with ourselves, the hardest part of software development was never the actual typing. It has always been the deep, strategic thinking.
Plus, there are critical areas where AI confidently, spectacularly fails without us. It cannot make architectural decisions that hold up over years. It completely struggles with debugging systems across 10 services and 3 cloud providers. It absolutely cannot provide the strict auditability required by governments, militaries, and hospitals. And crucially, it cannot recognize its own subtle, plausible-sounding errors, those nasty AI hallucinations that can take down a production server without expert human guidance.
Part 3. Mastering 3 non-coding skills. Let's look at the practical playbook for evolving from a passive coder into what we're calling a digital architect. To survive the coming split in the industry, you've got to master 3 essential non-coding skills for survival. First up, system thinking and defining clear boundaries. Second, communicating effectively with non-technical stakeholders. You have to be the translator for their messy business intent. And third, taking total accountability and ownership of the outcomes. These human skills are your absolute lifelines.
Because here's the new reality we all have to accept. Writing syntax is no longer your unique value proposition. AI's got the syntax covered. The skill of manual coding becomes mere table stakes. It's just the baseline expectation to even get a seat at the table. Your true value is everything you do around the code.
It really highlights a stark contrast between the passive developer whose job is dying and the digital architect who is about to thrive. The passive developer waits for a ticket to arrive, writes code line by line, and ships it without any deeper context. That role is fading fast. But the digital architect, they translate messy business intent, they orchestrate entire AI systems, and they review AI output critically and own the results. That is the role of the future.
Finally, Section 4, your step-by-step survival guide. Let's turn all of this into a concrete, actionable career strategy.
Here is your step-by-step plan. Step 1. Accept manual coding as mere table stakes. Let go of the syntax pride. Step 2. Master the critical evaluation of AI output. Become the ultimate editor. Step 3. Shift your focus to system-level architecture. Step 4. Take absolute ownership of the outcomes. By actively following these 4 steps, you completely pivot away from those vanishing entry-level tasks and position yourself directly in the path of the industry's expanding needs.
I want to leave you with this incredibly powerful quote. The total demand for software will rise faster than the productivity gains eliminate roles. It beautifully summarizes our core takeaway today. The profession isn't disappearing at all, but your approach to it must aggressively evolve. The world needs way more software, not less, and they need true engineers to build it reliably. So we wrap up with this thought. The skill floor has risen, but the ceiling has too. Writing code just got easier, but engineering reliable, large-scale systems just got vastly more important. I hope this explainer transforms some of that anxiety into a clear, actionable roadmap. The real question is, are you ready to architect the future?